Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to a project I was going to use in a video that just ended up not happening. But I love what these guys on the Discord came up so much that I definitely have to share it with you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, the ChurchillMkXXVII. So, a few different ideas were proposed here. This one by Michael246R is nicely square armor here on the hull, and you can see that they've fallen back in love with the hull mounted cannon. We have a single 152mm. It looks like this one right here, and it appears to be a longer barrel, sort of like what you see on the FV4005, which I highly agree with. It has a single 80mm. That must be the hull mounted spud cannon there in the hull. Again, great idea. What better way to deal with infantry and tanks than to have a rotating turret with an anti-tank gun and a spud gun in the hull. And a single 20mm on top, like the French tanks have at higher tier. Max speed, a very optimistic 70 kilometers per hour, and a total weight of 60 tons. One thing I'd like to see on this one is armor thickness. I love the layout of the armor, nice and flat, as a Churchill ought to be. The turret seems a bit large, but maybe that's drawing from sort of the MBT dynamic that we see today. After all, this is a Churchill Mark 27. Let's talk about the treads. They appear to be, besides the fact that they're very well drawn, it looks like this would be a Christie style suspension, but who's to say? Sort of difficult to tell. And here, Do Not Even Try has presented us what turns out to be a multi-barrel ATGM launcher on top, mounted coaxially, it would seem, with the boomstick cannon. And what we see here is the Churchill Mark 27 MBT with sloping armor, but still that nice long Churchill design. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of road wheels on each side, so interesting to see. It might get a bit wobbly here as the hull does extend beyond the road wheels quite a bit. Is there a drive wheel in the back here or in the front? Who's to say? Okay, what else do we have? I love this one by the Widowmaker. It's a Churchill body, question mark. And then labeled 3, we have the 120mm cannons. So where's that on the diagram? Not to scale, by the way. 3. Oh, they're side sponson mounted, as you do. And what else do we have here? 183mm cannons in Mark IV style sponsons on the sides here. So dual side mounted 183mm cannons, Doom Barn to go, and then some sort of AA guns mounted on top. Let's see, 5. Where would that be? I can't. Oh, right here. They're mounted on the rear. How clever! Yeah, and you could put a destroyer engine in there, which would seem entirely appropriate. And the turret and guns taken straight from HMS Hood, because why not? As well as a hull-mounted BL 18-inch Mark I gun. Well, there you go. Because again, why not? I would love to see this firing nothing but high explosive and see what happens. Hesh. High explosive squash head. So that is entirely what I would expect a Churchill Mark 27 to be. Paul's got a few more updates to his submission. You can see a front view where it's revealed that it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 barrel ATGM launcher. vis-a-vis the Sherman Calliope, entering into the next century, I suppose. There would be a hole for the optic and what could be a 7.7 Vickers machine gun, coaxially mounted with the boomstick cannon. Again, no details on what gun this is. Is it a 120 or even larger? Who's to say? And then, of course, a hole-mounted machine gun, because why not? After all, it is a Churchill. Okay, what do we have here? Some jerk just did a bunch of copying other people's pictures and editing them in Photoshop. He's been disqualified. What do you mean? That was me. Anyway, yeah, I like that one. I posted it on live. What else do we have? Ooh, Bacon did a 3D model of the Churchill Mark 27. It looks like it has a 20mm mounted in the hull, if I'm not mistaken. That does sort of resemble a what is a Hispano, 20mm Hispano sticking out of the hull. And then this cannon, could it be a 105? It doesn't really appear to be any larger than that, but who's to say? It's difficult to tell the scale. And then we have a somewhat advanced optic system here off to the side of the gun. Interesting that they've mounted this coaxial to the cannon, as opposed to having a periscope gun sight, but to each their own. And as yet, the tracks have not been designed and mounted, but it does look to have a suitably long wheelbase, so to speak. So that looks interesting. It'd be nice to know some armor thickness, but it definitely helps to see some riveting going on here. That is definitely the technology of the future. Loving it. A top view without the ATGM launcher for the Churchill MBT Mark 27 by Paul. What else do we have? I love all of these. Bacon with just a random tank design for us. Very highly angled armor there. That would be... Can we make up some historical documentation to get this into the game? It almost looks like a mix between a Vickers MBT and a Leopard. So, interesting. What else do we have here? Ah, yes, HMS Churchill updated. So, Churchill body and frame, rangefinders, and then the aforementioned guns. A little bit more detail work on the turret, looking very nice. That would be a coincidence-style rangefinder with the big ol' ears there to eat APHE rounds and also to help you get that good range finding. Oh, one of the things that I'm really excited about for the Shot Cal is that it gets a laser rangefinder. At least historically it did. I would expect to have one in the game, and laser rangefinders are significantly improved over the standard rangefinder mechanic in the game. Much faster, much more accurate, out to much longer ranges. Josef Krakowski with flex tape. Oh man, somebody watched Flex Tape 2, the flexing, didn't they? Here's his cooperative build between France and Britain of the Churchill Mark 27 MBT. We see what could be some flat armor here on the front, leading to a highly sloped angle. And then a very large cannon. Not sure what that is, but it looks like it's at least 152 millimeters. And again, to say that I understand what this is would be an overstatement. Could it be a Piat anti-tank canister grenade launcher? Who's to say? But a very recognizable 20mm turret there in the French style on top of that one, like you see on the, what is it, AMX-30? I'm not all that well versed on French tanks. And then to say that the suspension design follows after something like the Centurion, I think would not be too much of an overstatement. So definitely a hybrid build there. Cooperation between nations, not likely. The Brits do like to build as many things locally as they can. So here they are, all of the submissions for the Churchill Mark 27. I think Widowmaker made my favorite here. But you guys decide for yourselves what is the way of the future. If the Churchill tank didn't stop with the Black Prince, what crazy futuristic retro a World War I tank built in the modern day? What could it be? The Churchill Mark 27. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this little quick look at some of the silliness that goes on the what's this called again? Toshio Thunder Zone Discord server, and definitely feel free to join in with that. And I also, of course, post videos and such on here. What's going on in videos right now? Uh-oh, we're getting some fire. All right, guys, catch you in the next video. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Guppy.
Bye.
You're so cute.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.